Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
Well, you said you didn't want one for this episode.
Well, I was trying to be a good boy and pace myself.
Well, you know a lot about pacing. You're doing those long distances in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, keep the pace up. Actually, interestingly, this is actually a really good topic to bring up. As you know, friend of the pod, Andy, lives in New York. He's over here for a few more days, and I'm going over to Souk this weekend.
Yes.
And to the island. And we're going to have a little competition. We're going to have a
rematch.
Sort of a decathlon.
A rematch from like a triathlon.
Yeah, well, it's actually, there's a few different events.
Okay, talk about
there's a running race.
Okay, which you won last time.
7 kilometer, which I won.
Last time, yeah.
We're going to go to a lake.
Okay.
And it's a very small lake, and we're going to race across and back.
Okay.
We're going to have a game of chess.
I was going to say it's like a modern pentathlon.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
kind of more what it is.
A game of chess. I'm not too sure what the other events are.
You guys sound like you have a really fun time hanging out. Jesus. These guys know how to party or what?
It's all in good fun.
Don't want to, when you have kids, you're going to be like competitive dad style guys.
It's all in good fun. We never get like heated at each other.
Before we turned on this mic, you were saying that motherfucker's going down. Before I press play, on the Zoom recorder, which is back. You know, honestly, we're back to where we started.
Yeah.
What else are you doing though?
This feels like a kind of, the past couple of pods have really felt like sort of a full circle.
Yeah,
they felt like the early days.
The acoustics are nice in here.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably...
You look really good too, all white, on a white... You kind of got a Lennon vibe. I'm going to take a photo and put it on our Instagram.
Cross-legged.
Yeah, I won't put it up without your permission.
Okay.
But just so people know how the other half lives.
Peace and love.
That's a fucking good vibe, dude. That's a good vibe. You're looking pretty skinny, though. I'm a bit worried about you. Well, you lost a bit of weight?
It's just this shirt.
You're not really...
thin.
You're skin and bones already.
I'm not losing any weight.
I hope not. You've not got any to lose, man.
The shirt's really thin and
kind of
has
David
nothing
Byrne
to it.
Vibe.
Yeah. But
modern pentathlon.
Yeah, no, I was going to say this is probably my favorite venue for the podcast.
Yeah, actually, because obviously, like with COVID, it's been difficult to have like visitors just anyway to anywhere. I must say, like, because you're the only person who really comes over here, and when you come in, it makes me like my apartment more.
Really?
Yeah, just because you're quite stylish and you're sat there in like kind of, and I like that corner.
Yeah.
I mean, we have that, you'll see in a photo that there's a black light, kind of, not like a black light, like Coke party with,
right.
Not like a Laurel Canyon black light, kind of Requiem for a Dream style.
Yeah.
Vampire party.
Yeah.
Where Brian finally lost his mind.
It's just literally a
black colored light. Yeah. But it's for the plants because we don't get so much natural light. Although it's kind of golden hour right now. But that just kind of, that's going to look bad in the photo. But, I mean, what can you do?
I don't know.
I mean, we're not, it's an impossible way of life. We're not, palatial over here. Although, you all right there, man?
I went for a run today, not to the pool, though, even though I was scheduled to go.
Oh, yeah, you were scheduled to go.
I didn't go, but I ran, and then I checked in at the pool on the way so they don't know I don't show up because you get in trouble.
Oh.
It's quite sneaky.
So, the shower didn't take?
No, and then I had a shower, and I kind of had to get over here. Pardon me. This happened to you one time, remember? Water went down the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah, you want me to just like fill some space here for a little bit?
No. And then, I had
we're certainly not stopping recording.
I had a run.
Because there's no beers in the house. So we got to get this full hour done.
I had a run, and then I had to, jump right in the shower, really hot.
Yeah.
And then...
Why didn't you have a Wim Hof style cold shower?
Well, I did. I had a cold shower. Not ice cold, but cold. And I jumped in and had a shower and got out and then got dressed, and you realize Oh, you're still sweating from the run.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't take.
Didn't
It's
take.
a Seinfeld thing, you know.
Stamo's just gone live on Instagram. Could ask him a few questions.
What's
if you
he
want.
doing?
Don't know. Let's check it out. He goes live a lot. Where is he? Let's see. He's on stage, sound checking. I'm just gonna.
Beach Boys?
It's his birthday, I think. Yeah, Mike with Mike Love.
Wow.
So we got. It's someone's birthday.
Fun, fun, fun. Till Daddy takes the T-Bird away.
Fun, fun, fun. Until I think John Mayer's live too. Where is he? Let's check it out. John Mayer's with Bob Weir. What's he up to? Everyone's up there, man. Did you watch the new John Mayer video for Wild Blue?
I did, because it was kind of interesting, actually, because, you know, I said, let's talk a little bit about J.J. Cale. So I went for my run and listened to Naturally.
Oh, I've heard of that. Well, you know, actually, that's the record that I like the most, you know. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
what is it you like about it?
Well, it's just like people don't really know who he is, you know, and it's like actually don't realize how he influenced everyone. And, you know,
Well, yeah.
Neil Young's favorite guitar player.
Well, it's actually like pretty cool that it's one of the first uses of a drum machine on an album, and a lot of people didn't even really know like what a drum machine was at that time. And it wasn't even like he wasn't even like trying to be cool. He was just like doing it out of necessity, because like he didn't have much money, so like, you know, he wasn't ready to book a big studio yet, so he just kind of took matters into his own hands.
Is that true?
And with his military engineering training, you know,
Combat
electronic
training.
training,
Point-to-point military grade wiring.
set him up for, you know, military precision recording.
Well, you know that nothing is bluesier than the military.
Well, I didn't know that, but
So, you know, well, I mean, in terms of being a technician, it's like you need that kind of devout training, and you know, he's a Marine when it comes to blues, you know, and he's slick.
yeah,
He's technical.
he said he didn't want to own a gun, but he did want to play the blues.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's not kind of a...
Well, he joined the military. You know, he was like in his 30s when Naturally came out, hey?
I don't really know too much about him.
It's pretty cool. I was just reading it. I was on this...
Is it his first record?
Yeah. I was on this website today, wikipedia.com.
Yeah.
And they were talking about... Because really interesting, actually. This is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
He did a single. He was working as an engineer in Leon Russell's studio in the 60s.
Okay.
And he cut one single, and the B-side was After Midnight.
Interesting.
All fast, keyed up version.
Okay.
After midnight, ba-doom-doom, we gonna let... No one's ever heard this. I've never heard it.
Kind of boogie rock.
Yeah. Clapton hears it.
Yeah.
Records it in 1970.
Yeah.
Makes JJ a big star. And this label's like, hey, he's 34 or something. And he's like, it was great. I was poor. I had nothing. All of a sudden I got all this money because Clapton had a hit with my song.
Yeah.
So he makes a record. They're like, you got to make an album. Before, you know, he makes Naturally, and they're like, oh, you should put After Midnight on it again.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I already recorded it. And they're like, yeah, but now it's a hit. So he was like, it was cool. He's like, well, if Eric's going to do it all fast and keyed up like that, I just said, I'm going to do it real slow.
Nice.
And that's After Midnight.
It rocks.
It's way better.
It's kind of like, you know, end of the night, throw that record on, get the kind of downer drugs out, you know what I mean? End of the party.
Or just kind of like get a little romantic.
Definitely
It's
a romantic
sexy
record. Yeah, it is.
And, you know, Crazy Mama, Magnolia, these are
Somebody
hot.
call a doctor.
Oh, yeah. Tell him I'm sick. What can you do with those crying eyes? Doom, doom, doom. It's very hypnotic with the drum machine. Those like
Hypnotique.
Yeah.
When did it come out?
70, I want to say 73.
So how did Clapton find the song?
I guess I don't know. That I don't know.
I mean...
let me tell you this. once he found it, and then once JJ made Naturally, he saw he had a kind of a cash cow for life of material.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. Every time you look up JJ Cale, all you see is Clapton. Because like Clapton just covered his tunes like through the 80s and 90s. Like it was just like, that was his thing.
Well, I stopped writing songs. You see. I was focusing too much on more of my kind of corporate work, and also murders. There was a lot going on for me, and I found it easier. Other bands, Aerosmith, similar thing, wanted pussy and fame. Weren't really, and you can't do all those things at once. You can't have Joe Perry's pectorals and also be writing songs like Crying,
right,
and Crazy. So what I did, I think it's kind of interesting, is I realized that J.J. Cale had a vociferous heroin addiction. And much like with the Bee Gees in mid-70s when I invented disco,
right,
I realized if I had the good stuff for him, I could really string him out and get him to sign over the songs for me. And I realized, like you say, cash cow, really. And I could focus more on my own reputation, preserving my reputation.
That's
as
very
the
interesting,
most
Eric.
profound blues player of modern times.
Well, I'll come back to that later, but
a lot of people don't know I actually haven't really ever played the blues.
Right, interesting. Well, I actually read an interesting quote from you recently that said, that you were tired of just being known as a blues lead guitarist.
It's true, yeah.
And so you were kind of lost.
Yes.
So you decided the only way to kind of, shake this whole blues guitar thing was to kind of get back to your roots and get into blues.
Well, it's interesting you say that. A lot of people knew me, Eric, as God, because of my blues acumen.
Mm-hmm.
And, I really started to want to write songs. Yeah. And I thought, how do you do that? Because I'd never done that before. So I thought the easiest way would be to just use other people's songs.
Right.
I shot The Sheriff, for example. And much like I'd done originally with the blues, using other people's riffs.
You've shot more than The Sheriff, too, haven't you, Eric?
Well, that's something, that I'll be taking to the grave with me.
Tell me, Eric, do you know much about motorcycle maintenance?
I cannot confirm or deny whether I know much about motorcycle maintenance.
Interesting. Like, for instance, would you perhaps know where the brake lines on, say, a 1968 Honda Shadow are?
I got away with it, didn't I? I got away with it.
Eric, you're on live TV right now.
Well, the thing is, I wanted to get an old school vaccine.
Right.
You see? And because I'm an old school guy, bluesy guy, I wanted to get an old school vaccine. And so I called up who else should I call? Bill Gates, Bill Gates, famously a good friend of mine. And during the 90s, when I had to make my decision of whether to go kind of blues tooth blues, or more of a kind of garage band style blues, I sided with an old friend. We'd met in Little St. James Island, where all sorts of fun things happened.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Wyman was there, of course, and so I called Bill up. And I said, I want the old school bluesy vaccine, and he said, no problem, because of course with the 5G thing, and I was on the fence about 5G, because I thought, any way we could possibly control people more. It's always worked for me, controlling the narrative.
Right. You sort of thought of a lot of your shows from the 70s through to the 90s as kind of crowd mind control, right? Like, because you talk a lot about connecting people's minds through blues and music, and how you'd be all bombed out on stage and the crowd would also be bombed out. So was that sort of a kind of a spell you had them under?
Well, mind control. To
blues control.
Blues control.
Blues power.
Blues power. A lot of people think when we talk about cream, how do you create blue? Well, you need cream. Mm-hmm. So I was one before blues,
right?
In terms of color, you see, and it with the 5G thing, you see, I was, like I said, I was on the fence, but I've been reading all about these troubles that recording studios are having. And music's now becoming more difficult to create, which works for me. It works for me because the less blues that's created, the more chance I'll have of staying the best of all the blues, you see.
Well,
so,
I think John Mayer might have something to say about that.
Listen,
is he a threat, posing a threat to you currently as a Stratocaster blues artist?
Well, I think one thing you'll notice from John Mayer's new video, Wild Blues, is, he's kind of going for, I suppose, like a Dali style Dadaist, 80s momentary lapse of reason kind of.
He's certainly dressed like you and has your haircut from the late 80s.
But you'll notice we have a gentleman's agreement. He's a gentleman that he has to always perform with a slightly smaller Stratocaster than me.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know this about the blues. When you go to the Crossroads, the level of blues, the level of Crossroads Festival, the level of blues you play.
Feel free to plug it.
The level of blues you play defines the size of your guitar, and I can see that he's a few riffs short because his guitar is shrinking.
I see.
Wildly.
And famously, B.B. King, one of your heroes, had a very big guitar.
Huge guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge guitar.
Yeah. And you started on, I can't help but notice that, you started on a kind of a bigger guitar. You played a 335 and stuff like that in the 60s, and kind of you shrunk down a bit to the Strat. Like, is that sort of... Did your riffs sort of suffer a little bit once?
The shrinking thing only happens with Stratocasters.
I see. Okay.
You'll see that with John, he can't even play blues well enough to get the real headstock.
Yeah. He doesn't have any cool colors, his guitars really.
No, it's pink.
Oh, is it pink?
Yeah, it's pink.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It's infamously pink.
Oh, yeah.
But he doesn't get a sunburst.
That's pretty
He doesn't
cool,
have two colors.
Well, yours is black. I mean, that's...
Yeah, but that's for
black,
different reasons, you see.
Right.
A lot of people confuse why. That actually was named after, my views on immigration. And, so someone heard me say that word, and I, quickly, because I'm very good at spinning things in my favor, you see. Mm-hmm. As you can tell, I'll leave it all out here tonight. I've been convincing the world, not through playing, that I'm the best blues musician. No, not through playing, but through my cutthroat business techniques and my nefarious murdering and threatening of other aficionados.
Right. Very interesting.
So yeah, the guitar. No,
I'm glad to hear that you have a gentleman's agreement with John Mayer, because from as far as I can see, there's a bit of he's making a big statement on his new video, in his new video Wild Blue, because he's singing like J.J. Cale.
Right.
He's playing guitar like Mark Knopfler. He's looking like you. What do all these people have in common? They played Stratocasters.
Yes.
And so I think he's trying to say, look, I can take all of the aspects of all these Stratocaster players, put them together, and be the best of all of them. Sort of like a, Captain Planet, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm aware of the reference. Yes. Yeah. Sort of maybe a Captain Planet sort of thing. Or maybe Sonic the Hedgehog went in the special world where you have to get the crystals.
I don't know. I was a Mario Brothers guy. So.
Well, with Mario, it would be something similar to saving all the princesses.
Right.
Gets you through, or getting all the stars in Mario 64.
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to do that a little bit.
Worth remembering. Let's go through those guitarists one by one.
He's calling you...
J.J. Cale. Everyone thinks I wrote those songs, so that's fine.
I'm not even 100% sure he only played a Strat. But I definitely know he has...
J.J. Cale has a distinctive Stratocaster tone. I think he uses one of the weird big star pickups.
He does sometimes. But no one has used that more than Mark Knopfler, who we can hear clearly Mayer is referencing on this new song, Wild Blue.
He's staying well away from me, except in more of an aesthetic sense.
Yeah, well, which is,
he's dressed like me,
in my opinion, sort of the shots fired. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of, he's saying, I'm younger, I'm more handsome, and I'm pulling this look off better
But
than...
I have a smaller guitar, and I haven't graduated yet to having the official Fender headstock. You see?
Right.
That's also something he's saying. No, and you have to.
Could that possibly be, Eric? That because maybe is it his signature brand though? I've never seen a signature.
Well, there's only one way. There's only one Stratocaster. It's a Fender.
Right.
It's the only one. It's like Mario and Luigi. It's Gibson and Fender. You know, it's Sonic and Knuckles kind of situation.
I think of Mario and Luigi more as like a Stratocaster and a Telecaster kind of. I would say.
Yeah, it's a Mario and Luigi. That's certainly a Mario and Luigi situation.
I would say Sonic and Mario is kind of Fender and Gibson.
I see where you're coming from, yeah. Kind of like a Steve Jobs, Bill Gates.
Sure.
Garage Band and Bluetooth.
Certainly.
Yeah. No, I can see that, yeah. But I'm now investing in Faraday cages.
Interesting.
Because I figure if I can own all of the Faraday cages and hoard them, and my friend Bill creates enough 5G with the vaccine and with his business capabilities, we'll be able to destroy every music studio that exists with interference, you see.
And then you'll just solely be...
I'll be the last bluesman.
And you'll just be kind of recording.
Well, I'll have all the cages.
Yeah, and you'll also not really need them because you'll be recording mostly through your Tesla speakers.
Well,
I've heard that if you just mic up the inside of a Tesla and kind of plug into the Bluetooth, you can get because they have a Faraday cage built into the frame. Am I wrong?
Well, I don't think Elon would settle for anything less.
No,
but I'll be in space by then.
Yeah,
I'll be in space.
No need
Captain
for a cage
Planet
up there. Yeah,
Captain Planet. Exactly. I'll be Captain Planet.
Right.
Earth, wind, fire, water.
I'm very impressed that you, being from the UK, know the Captain Planet reference.
A lot of people don't. Well, I had a son, you see.
Yeah.
And he was, he was very interested in...
Kind of a strange show, actually. Very environmental focused TV show.
Captain Planet, yeah. He's a hero going to take pollution down to zero. I actually wrote, I don't know if you know, I wrote that song.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
I did, yeah.
It is kind of bluesy.
Yeah, I wrote that one.
It is.
Yeah. And I wrote Wild Blue by John Mayer. I don't know if I've ever told you that.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah, I wrote that too. And you'll notice the solo at the end of it, when you say he sounds a little bit like Mark Knopfler.
Yeah.
Well, we have a gentleman's agreement, me, Mark, and John. And Mark said, yeah, use my tone. Go for it. But don't make the solo anywhere near as good as a solo I would do at it.
Right.
So he just cools off. He never really gets going. It's technically a good solo.
It is, yeah.
It's technically good. And it's clean. But he doesn't do any of that kind of triplet thing. And obviously, we know Mark has his signature finger-picking style. We're not allowed to do that.
No, of course not. Finger picks, I believe.
Yeah, picks, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you here. Is there anything else you'd like to confess or talk about? Or?
Well, maybe I'll go for a little bit and come back a little bit later on in the show, if there's anything else that I'm needed for.
Sure, that'd be great. Okay, we'll see you later. That's great to have Eric here. I meant to ask him about his album he did with J.J. Cale, The Road to Escondido.
I'm sure you could probably speak to him later. What's Escondido all about?
I think it's a place in Mexico, maybe?
Is it bluesy? Presumably.
The Road to Escondido, yeah.
So
they kind of jammed together later in life a bit. After JJ was living in a trailer in California for the entire 80s and not making any music.
And is that because Clapton wasn't paying him his dues?
I think he just didn't
pay the dues.
Being in the spotlight. It's funny, I was reading, they asked him, what did you do in the 80s? And he said, I just mowed the lawn and listened to Van Halen and rap all day.
Really?
Yeah.
That rocks.
Yeah.
That's a good vibe.
Yeah.
Sounds like Luke.
Probably got high and just hung around.
Was he's into heroin, wasn't
drugs
he?
Of all kinds, I think.
Yeah. Didn't really play live or anything.
He did.
Did he?
But my dad loves the story. It's just such a dad thing to love. That, he always said, well, JJ, he was so cool because he'd sit behind the band.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't be up front.
Okay.
Like
Kinda-
at the mic.
yeah.
He'd be in a chair like next to the
That
drummer.
makes sense. Kind of like a rocking chair.
Yeah, like, and the bass player and whatever be up front, he'd kind of be kicking back.
I like that.
He didn't really like the spotlight.
The records don't sound like anyone else. They don't sound like he likes the spotlight. It sounds like he's just like by a fire in his front room. With
I don't know how you
rocking
make
chair.
records like that. It's really cool.
I don't know. Rob Butterfield probably knows.
But there's a certain, like, how do you get everybody to play? So I guess, like, so kick back like that.
We all grew up playing indie, right? I think that's part of it. Because like David Rawlings and Gillian Welsh they do stuff like that, where it's like it just sounds like they're sat really quietly,
totally
having a cig and a glass of wine, and just
they do. But
maybe it's like an Appalachian thing.
Oklahoma, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
He's down there. Is that where
That's
he's from?
Yeah, yeah. Okie.
Okay, Okie.
But
I like
all
it
I
down
know
there.
is if you're talking an artist,
the Dust Bowl of America.
If you're talking artists, you know,
Which
that
I
I
often
still
am.
hear the name
Yeah.
whenever I'm traveling around, and musician friends, JJ Cale, you know, if you're gonna throw something on, you're gonna do a cover. Everybody's talking about JJ still.
Everyone's still talking about JJ.
Yeah, everybody.
It's true.
All the kind of Grateful Shred, the Liberty Street, you know, kind of.
They're all. It's all.
Oh yeah, that's all. You go down there, you hear Cajun Moon playing in one room,
Okay.
Traveling Light in the other room. Hey,
safe, isn't it?
Hey baby.
Safe, non-confrontational.
It's fun to play. It's easy to play. It's
Right.
easy to sing, and it's groovy.
Is
I
it
remember
easy
a
to
big
play
backyard jam.
his solos?
Was that?
Solos are easy to
He
play?
plays most, and he's got a really good feel.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say easy to play his
Doesn't
solos
Neil
like him.
famously like him?
I think so. Yeah.
Like On the Beach has a JJ vibe.
Oh, for sure. Neil's got that vibe for sure. Like
Vibe. You got it, that vibe. I guess he would.
Neil's
That's
a
like more
I don't
90s.
think he can get quite down so.
JJ wouldn't have been listening to that when he was mowing the lawn. Would have been more 80s rap. I don't know, Public Enemy and stuff.
Oh yeah, 80s rap. Yeah, that's what he was saying. Body count
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're about halfway through here, so it's like, 30 minutes till crack time.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
See, he'd probably have cracked.
Oh, I think he was cracking upon waking.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I don't know. Have
you ever cracked upon waking?
No.
I can't do that.
I would think that I was influenced about how into drugs he was based on his music.
Yeah.
Like, I know he was into drugs, and like, because he wrote a song called Cocaine and other songs about drugs, but like, bringing it back from Mexico.
But did he write Cocaine? Did he? And another question for you. Do you think anyone will remember whether John Mayer wrote Wild Blue?
No.
Not in the future. So I did it and I got away with it. And I'll do it again. I'm a killer. Sorry about that. I don't know where that came from.
He's welcome. He's the last true rebel, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he is.
He and Van.
For sure, yeah.
Thing about Van is he's fearless, though, right? That's what Eric says.
What, Eric? Van is fearless.
Yeah, Eric said, I thought I was a rebel.
And wait till these guys hear about the Grateful Shred.
Oh, well, they're living.
They're literally living it every day to day, show to show. Yeah, they're out there. Yeah, we just took a second there. Kind of Johnny's shower really didn't work out for him.
I need to splash a little water on my face.
I mean, the heat is on.
It probably is that, like, I had a few drinks last night similar to you, and like was this morning kind of like, and then it gets to be 5:30 and I'm like sweating because like I need a beer.
It's also just like the right time to have a drink.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome to Impossible Way of Life, a coping with drinking podcast. Is this a Wednesday one?
I don't think we decided.
Yeah,
it is.
Okay, well, this is welcome to Impossible Way of Life, and if you like what you hear, then go onto our Patreon, patreon.com/Impossible Way of Life or An Impossible Way of Life. I can't remember which one. For access to up to like 50 premium episodes.
I almost changed it to impossible way of life because
On
I saw
what,
it
Instagram?
on Instagram, and then I was like,
It's
I'm not
something
gonna
will
fuck
go
with it
wrong.
in something in case something happens.
So just tell people it's an impossible
I think
way
it's
of life
an
or
impossible
impossible way of life.
A
And on
goddamn
Patreon, it's one or the
impossible
other.
way of life.
But at this point, we're about like the third biggest podcast on Apple, so it should be pretty easy to find.
Yeah, I've had people kind of say, "Oh, you got a podcast or whatever," and then they look it up.
And they're like, whoa, that one.
No,
Yeah,
and
wow.
it pops up right away.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just type IMP, boom,
Done.
top of the page.
Yeah.
Also, I think the name's pretty. There's nothing else even called.
Well, we
in it.
figured that out because it's never been hashtagged. We got the email address.
Yeah,
We never used, and we're set up.
I have to just give you credit right here and to all our listeners that I remember when we were starting the podcast that James we were always saying that we were talking about the Last Waltz and James was like, let's just fucking call it a goddamn impossible way of life, and I was like, I don't know, it's a mouthful, and we were thinking other things and blah blah, and then you were just like, let's do it, and then a couple weeks later I was like, yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah.
I like it. It's
Well,
true.
It's
Rings
a
true.
universe.
It's true.
It does ring true.
And then when
Much perspective.
when Nate, our friend Nate, friend of the pod, started telling me, he's like, dude, iWall is life and all this kind of stuff. I was
Nice.
like, that the abbreviation's fun, a whole lot of fun too.
Well, and that's it. But I want to get a little bit back into the Strat thing.
Well, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about how of all the guitars,
Yeah.
the Strat has the biggest rivalry of who is the
King of the Strat.
Yeah, it's really, and we're probably missing. I mean, Stevie Ray,
Yeah.
Hendrix,
Yeah.
Knopfler,
Yeah.
Cale, Mayer, Clapton.
Well, that's why Mayer has that little dinky one, though. And I swear, in that new video, in Wild Blue, great song. And my hair is on point right now
looking
with
phenomenal.
his. Yeah,
It's
it's
very
like
close.
so simple. He has a bit more volume, and obviously, I don't have like a personal styling team
Well, he's got somebody with a blow dryer and a
fluffer.
comb, a fluffer right there.
at all times.
Yeah, at all times.
24/7.
Especially during the video. I mean, there's a fan blowing at him in the video, so
Yeah, exactly.
that's volume right there. You know
That's
what I mean?
volume. Yeah, I have a sea salt spray.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That'll do it.
Davinas I use.
nice.
And it helps, but it's not exact. I mean, maybe he has a bit more hair than me. In the new video, he does look like Clapton, but I like how he's kind of almost doing a Nickelback stance in it a little bit, though, too. He's kind of getting the stance wrong, I think.
I couldn't believe how much the vocals sounded like JJ Cale, though. It's shameless.
Yeah,
it is shameless.
It's crazy.
That's a bit.
Well,
it's
I
a
mean,
bit
so
much.
that's getting back into the Strat thing. Like, so you got, I guess, like, for some reason, I always think of JJ as the top, not in terms of players, but in terms of lineage.
Yeah.
It goes JJ, Clapton, Knopfler, Mayer. But it doesn't really, does it?
I'd
'Cause
put
Clapton-
Knopfler above Clapton.
No, not in terms of ranking.
What are we
in terms
talk-
of
what are we
the
ranking here?
genealogy of the Strat players?
Well, Hendrix,
He's the first.
I think.
He's the first one.
I can't think of anybody who played a Strat in the 60s.
So he kind of got the Strat where it needed to be.
I guess George kind of played a Strat, but not really. He wasn't known for it.
What was he?
Clapton's
Yeah, he was more. They're all Ricky guys, aren't they?
Yeah, but like, Magical Mystery Tour, he had one. I think.
Well, then and Paul got his jazz bass. And
I
stuff.
think Hendrix was the guy who made it famous.
Made it cool.
Yeah, made it cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Although we could be forgetting some like earlier. No, I don't think
Blues
so.
guys.
No, because like Chuck Berry, Gibson. I think it was mostly Gibson before that.
SG, Muddy Waters.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mostly Gibson for the original rock and roll blues guys.
I'm gonna look it up.
Even
right now.
Albert King, Buddy Guy. Oh, maybe Buddy Guy played a telly.
I'm looking it up right now. List of Stratocaster
Oh, dude,
players.
we can't forget David Gilmour.
Of course, yeah. So
David-
maybe
he's not
first,
but
though.
he might be after the next one after Hendrix.
This list's far too long for me to look up. Jeff Beck.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I'm looking. Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day is up there. Randy Bachman, our own Joe Bonamassa. Okay, when did it become popular? Let's have a look. What makes the Strat so great? Here we go. Buddy Holly,
Oh, of course, Buddy played a Strat.
Rock and Roll Heaven.
Yeah,
Big Bopper.
great guitar player. That's cool. He's the first.
I guess like Buddy Holly's going to be the first kind of main guy. Billy Corgan. Where do they put, like, how do these people get put in the same lists? 15 Stratocaster players of the ages. This is on official Fender.com.
This is Fender.com. Okay.
Debuted in 1950. Welcome to Cool Stories in Rock.
Yeah.
The Sweetwater podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Reverb.com.
Yeah, this is
podcast.
Just, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Known as a true virtuoso, Jeff Beck, dabbling in blues, rock, metal, and jazz. Yeah, so maybe Jeff Beck is the first one they go for, unless this isn't in... Yeah, this feels like it's kind of in order, maybe.
Metal?
Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple.
Yeah.
We got Clapton.
I did not know he played a Strat. That's a big one. Guitar legend, Richie Blackmore. Some of the sweetest licks I've heard.
Rory Gallagher.
Yeah, he's considered in
he's
blues circles.
Considered
in blues circles.
David Gilmour.
Yeah.
George Harrison.
Yeah, see.
Came up, Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, that era. But it doesn't, no, that's bullshit to me.
Jimi Hendrix.
George Telly guy to me. Like Abbey Road, Let It Be.
Buddy Holly. He's got to be the first.
Jimi Hendrix, yeah.
No, Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
He's got to be the first one.
He is.
He only had a few years to play it because he died in 59 or
23.
something. And it was only invented in about 54.
Yeah.
Eric Johnson, he's my guy. Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, that's real Strat. 80s.
Mark Knopfler.
Yeah. That's
Yngwie Malmsteen.
The Strat had a real resurgence in the 80s.
Hank Marvin. Nile Rodgers. I'm just going to keep
Nile Rodgers is cool.
Because he's kind of got like a specific
chucking
Strat
style.
Yeah.
It really sounds like a Strat, too.
It does.
Unlike Le Chic.
Well, it is. That's why it sounds like one.
Yeah.
Robin Trower.
Say Chic.
Procol.
Le Freak.
Say Chic. Robin Trower, Procol Harum. That's a bit of... How did he get on this list?
Fuck off.
Stevie Ray.
They even have a
good
guitar
list,
player
though.
in that band?
Stevie Ray Vaughan exploded onto the Stratocaster scene in 1983 with the scorching guitar work on David Bowie's Let's Dance. Like, journalists are so lame.
I actually thought that his work on...
Not only did Vaughan's voice carry raw power and emotion, but his ability to play lead and rhythm parts simultaneously was a marvel. Interesting. Can you do that? Play rhythm and lead at the same time? I mean, if Fender.com say you can.
Kind of play a... I mean, Lenny Bro did stuff like that, but he was like... He'd tune and play with his thumb. He actually like played the chords and soloed at the same time. I think they're talking about Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know when you do that thing, we like hit an A, we were like bam bam do 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 do.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. You know, like kind of alternating.
Yeah, like kind of. I know that.
Like
style.
Hendrix did it too.
Okay,
obviously.
So now I'm on a different magazine, and it's pretty much the same list. So we've kind of got them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, JJ's nowhere to be seen.
I'm not sure he played a Strat. Now that I think about it,
it sounds like a Strat.
I've seen him. I thought there. I thought I saw him with one.
Well, I think it. I'm going to say he does. I'm going to look up
what kind of guitar does JJ Cale play.
Imagine if it's not a Strat.
It's not. I don't think. Yeah, it's taking us down this road.
He played a 70s Strat.
Yeah, there you go. They don't count him. That's pretty lame.
Well, because Clapton has nicked all his songs and no one even knows. Yeah, he's kind of on a Strat most of the time.
Yeah.
He's got some weird stuff. Like, he's kind of got... it's probably because of his military training. He made his own.
I think he might have switched to kind of like a PRS style later.
Well, everyone switches in the end.
Yeah.
I saw Modest Mouse playing and he was on a PRS.
Well, everybody says, they don't look pretty, but they sound great.
They stay in tune.
They sound great, and they stay in tune. Yeah. I just wanted to say one thing.
I don't want to forget the Strat thing, but keep going.
Okay, no, we're not going to forget. I just wanted to say one thing because I was thinking we did a podcast yesterday, and I was feeling kind of like because I plugged my new album.
Yeah, which came out today. Congratulations.
Tomorrow, actually, but yeah exactly. I think
Friday.
It'll be out.
Oh, because Spotify only releases stuff on a Friday.
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't feel bad for plugging because I was like,
you should plug.
I was like, we have a podcast where I can plug my new album.
It's your
God damn it,
yeah.
we should do it when we put out new music.
If you were on
know what
Letterman,
I mean?
you would be only on it for that reason.
And then I was reading about Cale having his limitations and having to make a record with a drum machine in his basement and stuff. And I was like, in his 30s, I was like, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So salute to JJ and
salute to Johnny. So what you're saying yesterday, you were talking about how you're really similar to Leonard Cohen. And today you're kind of more on a like me and JJ Cale are kind of the same guy.
I'm reaching here, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm reaching. I'm just trying to put myself in the...
Did you use a drum machine? You did, didn't you?
On the whole record,
the whole thing is basically After Midnight.
Pretty much.
No, sorry, Naturally.
Yeah, pretty
the
much.
The whole thing.
Yeah, pretty
but
much. But
covers, so it's more Clapton-y.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he would, yeah.
If Clapton did the same sort of recording style.
I mean, it's a good style, that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I'm
nice.
excited to... I'm getting on a ferry tomorrow. I'm excited to
nice.
I'm excited to listen to it.
Throw it on, yeah, be cool.
Did you use a Strat?
Yes.
Your white
For
Strat?
all the electric guitar parts, yes, I did.
So, do you feel like you're in that pantheon?
No, because I only switched... Oh, God. This is going to take a lot of heat for this shit. I only switched to the... I only... I only switched to the Strat a few years ago.
Me and Luke both have the same Strat, which is unbelievable.
I was a strict Telly guy for years. Yeah, blonde, honey blonde.
Like a 52, like a Springsteen one?
Yeah, 52 reissue. Yeah, honey blonde.
Yeah.
Springsteen, but a little more...
Find the bridge hard to deal with on...
I just had one style, which was just... turn up the treble and the volume full, and then bridge pick up and crank it through the music.
Yeah, that's the only
man.
way to play them, but I find it... I used to catch my hand on the bridge.
Oh.
Weirdly, because it has that kind of like belt buckle
thing.
The
what do they call it? The
thing you would never need.
I forget what they call the saddle there. Or whatever.
People will be listening at screaming this word.
I know. Oh my God. I'm such an idiot. I never knew anything about the technical guitar stuff.
I think that JJ Cale
I could change the strings and that was it. You know, people would always be like, oh, you can easily set it up and fit it. I never put a screwdriver to it in my life, you know. Can you do that stuff?
Nah, well, I don't really know. I mean, it's...
Bass? Well, no.
You just have to... I mean, I kind of understand how that works, yeah.
I'm just always afraid to do it. I thought I'd wreck it.
I just know how to make it so it stays in tune on the 12th and the open, and how to make the intonation work. But not on my my Ricky, I can't, because it's got like a floating bridge or something. I don't really know.
Right.
I barely even change the strings.
That's what's cool about bass is I know you're a great guitar player too, but you're also a great bass player. And that's what's cool about bass is you don't even have to change the strings or do anything.
Never do. It
just
sounds
keep
better
playing
if you don't. Yeah.
You don't have to do shit to it. It's awesome.
I haven't changed the strings on my bass since I got it. Well, I changed them once. No, I don't.
No rounds, huh?
Just normal ones.
Kind of 90s.
I just use the normal ones. That's such a flats is such a JJ Cale style move.
Sound great though.
But if you get if you just get the normal ones and just play them a lot, it ends up sounding like that anyway. Yeah. It's for bitches who don't play enough. Or it's also people who don't understand how to get that tone.
Well, but also every bass from 1960 to 1975 is flat wound on every record.
I literally don't know the difference between them.
But that's
I know one of them is meant to make you sound like
Motown,
but man,
of course you can sound like that. Already. But I'm just
Would you put actually what I do is put the foam behind the strings.
Do the foam.
Yeah, that's what I do. And so I double down.
It's cool.
I'm pretty sure that flat wounds is just to make it sound muted.
They're just less bright.
Yeah.
That's all. So it's they just the round wound strings sound more like that 90s kind of Pearl Jammy bright if you want to rock.
Yeah. That is exactly.
No, but you can't do that with flat wound strings.
You can't rock out with flat wounds.
You can't get it to really.
Maybe I'll switch. If I ever have to, maybe I'll just switch.
Also, I think that the flat wounds, I'm new to bass, but from what I'm told by they'll last forever. You never have to change them.
What you're told by kind of
jazz level
players. What I'm told by kind of jazz level. But I know how stupid
it is, and I know that you can break in your strings and sound like James Jamerson if you want.
You can sound like James Younger if you want to. 100%. It's almost as difficult.
Yeah.
You just have to mute the whole time. I'm a bit more into dub. You know
I
what
do
I mean?
fall into that kind of stuff when I'm like, well, Paul.
And dub's kind of a late 70s thing. So.
Actually, I think Paul McCartney might have like occasionally done the other. Like, I don't know if it is that everybody did use it. It was the thing in that time, but definitely people were using whatever.
Everyone's told me for years, like,
switch to flats.
No one's ever told me to switch because everyone always says I'm a good bass player. No one's ever said you should switch. Most people are trying to sound like me, frankly. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm quite cocky with that kind of bass playing. But I've only snapped a string once, and it was a really good gig, and it was terrifying because I was like, I don't even know if I know how to put them on a bass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even sure if I have. And Ryan from a band called the Sheepdogs, who I'd love to get on this podcast, was side stage, and he saw it happen. You know, and a lot of people don't notice there's only 4 strings on a bass, right?
Right.
You know, and you can't play chords. So it's quite complicated if you have to really think about where your hand is, you know, because if you lose your A, you've got to find another. There's another A on there, but it's hard to find.
Totally.
So, but I like had a spare bass, and I went to grab it, and then like he within like 40 seconds had restrung my bass. I didn't even like it was crazy.
Amazing.
And it's like, hero, shouts out to Ryan. Got a great Graham Nash story.
That's like a Rob Butterfield kind of thing.
Move.
Too. Yeah, he's helped me out quite a few times.
In those moments.
In those moments where I'm just like, you know, maybe I've had a couple too many beers, I'm at the gig, and I'm like, something's going on, Rob, please. Yeah. And he'll just sort it out.
Well, you're famous for your not using a tuner, even.
I had no pedals or anything for years, yeah.
I mean, there's the only way you can get more legit than that is to like forget you're even on stage. You know, just kind of like keep, you know, like play your show and then be like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, I'm wearing my backpack still. Like, I totally just like, it's like free jazz. I'm just like, I just get on stage at some point, leave it at another point, and just go into it. It's just, I'm walking through rooms, man.
It's pretty bluesy to not use a tuner.
It's pretty bluesy. Like so I think JJ Cale,
just press play, man.
Yeah, but we
discussed I think after about 50 shows of seeing the annoyed face of the crowd when I was trying to tune up, like, dang, 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 dang.
I think I'd be annoyed watching Hendrix.
Well, I like that.
He's tuning more than he's playing in all the videos I've seen.
He's trying to tune while he's playing. In a lot of them.
Yeah, and maybe that's like the key to his sound. Man.
It is. He's got that. He's ramming that whammy. I mean, even if he had a tuner, he'd be going out of tune. Yeah. The way he's riffing on that whammy bar. He would,
I'll tell you what, he would, Strat player or not, he would have benefited from a Floyd Rose.
100%.
You know,
100%.
That would, like, imagine hearing him on a Floyd Rose. Maybe one of those Steinberg, like, guitars with headless guitars.
Yeah.
With, like, just a Floyd Rose and a whammy. You think Van Halen dive bombs?
Yeah, I know.
Imagine what Hendrix would have been
up
to.
But he didn't. He was more like, just go to the local pawn shop and just pick up some crappy guitar.
That's kind of JJ Cale's vibe, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's, like, confident like that.
Yeah, I think
he's like, these motherfuckers are all playing, like, Strats. I'm going to carve one out of wood. I'm in back in the Appalachians here. Mm-hmm. It is kind of that vibe. I'm looking at photos of him here, and he's playing what looks like homemade guitars.
He probably
built of a Townes Van Zandt kind of caravan style energy.
Yeah, I think that a lot of those guys kind
Trailer
of
park
just built.
vibe.
I think he probably built a lot of stuff. It's like the guy from Boston too.
Yeah,
the kind of like nerd energy too.
Like what, Mark Wahlberg?
No, the band. Wahlberg, he's like beat the shit out of nerd energy.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Yeah. Like Wahlberg. He's like, me and Donnie are going to just go out and just like beat the shit out of some people tonight.
You ever read his, like, someone posted like a photo of his like daily workout, like his daily routine? Dude, I got to pull it up. I got to find this.
That sounds intense.
Let me find it. Yeah, there's some photos here of JJ, and he just...
I don't think he did much of a workout routine.
JJ Cale?
Not really, probably.
So the Strat thing, though, while I pull this up, definitely it's strange that there's a family tree of music that all kind of has a similar vibe. It's very bluesy, but it's not blues.
No.
It's like Strat blues, which is definitely Mayer is like doing a bit of every one of these guys. So it's kind of like Clapton sounded like JJ Cale because he was into it, and Knopfler kind of played like that. And now Mayer's getting into JJ Cale through Clapton, and he's getting into JJ Cale's guitar playing through Knopfler. Like, I wonder if Mayer even knows JJ Cale. Someone needs to tell.
I have a
Maybe
theory.
he's never heard Nat.
Oh, no.
No, dude was fucking hanging out with Katy Perry. He's not
heard
at, like, our parties.
Listen to those vocals. He's heard it. Let me tell you this, though. I think that the entire video, James, is a diss to Clapton.
Okay.
I think he's starting up a modern blues rivalry with the classic.
Maybe it's just doing it for Steve Jobs.
He's like, look at this. He's got all the. Well, exactly, because he's with Jobs and Clapton's with Bill Gates.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
But listen to this, man. He's got all these opportunities in this song and video to do some Clapton stuff musically. Yeah. But no, he does JJ Cale vocals, Mark Knopfler style guitar.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just do the best of all these guys musically. And then he's just like, I'll just wear Clapton's stupid suit jacket because that's the best thing he ever did.
Wow.
I'll do the best to Knopfler, the licks. Yeah. Best to JJ, that kind of cool, quiet singing style with that effect on
and
it.
like the song itself. Also, it's weird that it has, it has the turnaround in it is a Steely Dan song. It's like Asia. It's like the turnaround weirdly is Asia.
Oh yeah, it is like Peg or whatever.
No, it's Asia, I think. The song.
Well, there's
Asia.
two that do that. The beginning of Peg's like that too.
It could be that. Yeah.
Oh no, Josie. Yeah, Josie.
Josie, no.
Yeah, but anyway,
I think I like that theory.
He's like, Knopfler, JJ, you guys are cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's like that kind of thing.
Like, but Clapton, he's like, I'm you
this
now.
Motherfucker out. I am you.
I'll be you.
He's punked him.
You're gone.
Yeah, he's punked Clapton.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Clapton is morphing into him.
Well, remember, like,
because he can't play.
Luke sent us the video, and all the comments were like, "Oh, if you guys think this is original, you've obviously never heard Mark Knopfler or JJ Cale." There's no mention of Clapton.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's Knopfler and Cale, who he considers to be worth, paying
emulating.
Homage. Yeah, exactly. And only he's like, Clapton. Yeah, maybe I'll use your haircut. I'm certainly not going to use your licks.
Interesting.
Not going to use your tone. Not going to use your singing style.
Yeah, I guess he's not really doing his. I don't even know what Clapton's tone is.
That's a good point. Couldn't tell you what his tone is.
Like, Knopfler has a tone.
Yeah, I don't know what pickup Clapton's on. I don't know where his tone knob is.
Well, we figured out from that Bono Massa show that the key to his vibe is just brand new equipment. Like American Standard Strat, a new Hot Rod DeVille kind of setup.
Yeah, I think that
true bypass tuner.
Right. Well, that's key.
Yeah, true. Well, you don't want anyone to messing with your tone.
No.
Like a pedal messing with you. You need true bypass.
What is it? You can lock it?
No, it's just one of those things that people say whenever you're in like Long and McQuay, and it has true bypass, as if like I think it means that like if it's not on, your tone isn't affected. It's true bypass.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
See, this is I'm ashamed to.
Dude, it's Fender.
I never even knew what bypass versus out or in meant on the tuner. Just like I'm useless. You know how the power on the back of it? Yeah. How it's like in like which one do you put it in?
Well, you can daisy chain.
I see.
I think is the idea behind
I got a couple pedals now. I got a Rat.
You got a Rat?
That was Shiloh's. I
remember you having a Rat.
Tuner and a Rat. That's was it.
Cool. I would have gone tuner tube screamer, I think. Personally, if I was going to go for like that style of setup. But because Rat's a bit like grunge.
That was my the Nick Bragg influence. He played a Rat, and he was
that
like,
makes sense. Yeah,
Nick was kind of my guitar guru.
Yeah.
In town, helped me find my guitars.
Nice.
He was, I was a young man.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you just go to Long and McQuaid to find guitars.
Well, I'd never bought a guitar at Long and McQuaid in my life, but I'd love to.
Wow. I mean, it's 0%. Listen, and we're not sponsored by them yet.
No, I did. My first guitar I bought at Long and McQuaid. It was a Sunburst.
Nice.
Epiphone 335.
That sounds good.
Yeah, like it was a
like
Gibson
a casino
copy. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
like a BB King style.
Yeah.
But I still have it. Yellow Sunburst, good guitar.
Yeah, people used to say with those things that the pickups were like, they're not like
humbuckers.
Yeah, they're humbuckers, but they're like something to do with the polarity. They feed back too much, and that's why you need to get a Gibson, because the build quality is a lot higher.
No, it was good. It was it was the 90s. It was a good guitar.
Yeah, I mean, but did you secretly want a Gibson, and you knew you had like a knockoff?
Well, I
Gibson?
didn't have enough money for one.
Yeah, but you were kind of like when I had an Epiphone SG, and I was like,
of course, I would rather have had a Gibson. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Do you want to know Mark Wahlberg's daily schedule?
Yes, please.
Okay. 2:30 a.m. wake up. 2:45 a.m. prayer time.
We should be doing this right now, like where you're reading that one and I'm reading the Hunter S. Thompson.
I know,
one,
that's what I was
where
thinking.
It's like 2:30 a.m. wake up, take acid. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking we'd get a lot of podcasts done if we did this. This shit's crazy. So 2:45 a.m. prayer time.
Yeah,
we're praying. 3:15. So he prays for half an hour. Breakfast at 3:15 a.m. 3:40 to 5:15 a.m. workout. So he's got his first workout done by 5:15 a.m. 5:30 a.m. post-workout meal. 6 a.m. shower. 7:30 golf. 8 a.m. snack. 9:30 cryo chamber recovery.
Well, wait a minute. He's going to play golf at what time?
7:30 a.m.
For half an hour?
No, he's having a snack while he plays. He only makes it to the cryogenic chamber for 9:30 a.m.
Okay, so he's playing 9 holes.
Yeah.
Okay.
10:30, so about an hour in the chamber. He has a snack.
Assumably like a whole chicken.
Yeah, it's a snack. 11 a.m. family time until 1 p.m.
That's nice.
Yeah, when he has lunch, fourth meal of the day. 2 p.m. meetings, work calls. 3 p.m. pick up the kids at school. 3:30 another snack. 4 p.m. second workout. 5 p.m. shower. Second shower too. Not including his cryo chamber recovery session. 5:30 dinner, family time.
What is a cryogenic chamber?
Well, it's like, I don't know. I guess he's like trying to stay young forever.
But it's like ice?
Yeah, I think it's like an ice bucket.
An ice
like, it's like the kind of thing you like would stay alive forever. They'll put you in one. Like Michael Schumacher's in one.
He freezes himself for an hour to so he'll age 1 hour less
every day, and that's how he does
1 hour less. So by the end of your life, you've shaved off
a lot
like
of
a
hours.
week.
And this one goes to 11.
Yeah.
And then 7:30 p.m. bedtime. It's not really a night guy. That's what he does. It's got a busy day.
Yeah.
Frankly.
It's pretty self-involved.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder, this is just
1 hour with his family the whole day.
Most of it's just spent working out or in a cryo chamber.
Yeah, he's not even like doing any, like talking to his aide. He's like, you've got an hour.
No, he does. He's
to pitch me scripts.
He's fucking make sure they're up to the level of American Sniper, because otherwise, or The Departed.
Oh yeah,
because I'm not fucking touching anything.
Yeah,
I haven't got time.
Triple Frontier.
I haven't got time.
Yeah. I saw the one recently where he goes over to, I don't know, Afghanistan with like 3 dudes to.
Yeah, just like a kind of feel-good Friday night
family
movie.
It's like the 4 of them
American
take
family.
On like
the whole
100
squad.
Taliban guys.
Like 300, but it's just
he
Americans.
Kills almost all of them.
Yeah.
And then
does he save any girls?
His buddies all die, but like he kills most of them.
Does he save any women?
I don't know. I think they're mostly like out in the woods just killing.
Yeah, I don't think that
can't
stuff
really
matters
watch
anymore. Like,
those.
even like in the new Bond stuff, like there's not even women anymore. It's just guys killing.
I can't watch these ones anymore where it's just like, sometimes I watched one the other day. I just turned it on called Extraction.
Oh yeah,
with Chris, the guy who plays Thor.
yeah.
And the whole movie was just shooting guys in the head for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I swear there were about 350 headshots. And, I was just like, this is disturbing.
Yeah. Strange.
Not much plot either. It's like a video game.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is. It's demented.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going.
Yeah.
So, should we...
I'd love that.
Yeah?
You don't even have to finish that sentence.
Shall we?
Yeah.
And then we could talk about... one last thing.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about, which would be nice. You got me laughing when you said Mike text you.
Oh, right.
I just...
Knopfler related.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, yeah, Mike, Mikey, our good buddy, he's been going through a little bit of a hard time lately, and I'll get that wasp out of here.
That was very impressive.
Yeah, thanks.
Johnny just kind of Jedi mind gamed a wasp out of my apartment.
But I'll pull up the text because I thought it was really sweet.
It's full eye wall, and
Yeah,
it's the way we live our lives. It's a little slice of life.
He's been going through a little bit of a hard time lately.
Not gonna lie.
And
that's why he came on the pod.
Yeah,
just needing to hang around with some pals.
And he just wrote me. It was really sweet. He said, "Hey Johnny, we should do a jam night soon.
Yeah,
few covers and some beers." And I was like, "Dude, I'm down anytime." And he just said, "To put it in perspective, where my mind's at right now, I'm relearning the Sultan's solo." He already knows it.
Yeah,
but he's like, "This is just where I'm at right now."
You think Maya can play it?
Not like Mike.
Not like Mike.
No.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get that beer.
Another Strat guy. Mike Kamazchuk.
Major Strat guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.